Hey, good morning, good morning. This is Diary of a Coach, and this is our final episode on live Facebook. And the winner is Idenyi Emmanuel. Life is the first person to join on the last day. Hey people, today is the last final episode of Diary of a Coach on Facebook Live. I feel truly humbled to see you on this day. Ofonime of Melogo, Yusuf Abba, Dorothy, Idenyi, I see you all. It's been a beautiful journey. Beautiful journey. It's been a trip. It's been a wow. It's been a wholesome experience. How are you guys? How are you? Like seriously, how are you? How are you? How is it going? How are you finding the period? It's a lovely day. So today is the final episode of Diary of a Coach on Facebook. It's been 365 episodes so far. And it's been every day of learning. It's been every day of learning. It's been day after day after day of rumination, speculation, sharing. I have shared with you 365 free episodes of content. I have set my reminders every day for the last 365 days to wake up, to prep up, and to share. I have done diaries on the road, in my house, in my office, at client locations, at different places, at events. It's been a crazy experience. I have tested my own resilience, my own consistency, my own staying power. I have been tested by network, by lack of topics. Some days I wake up, I'm wondering, what do you want to talk about today? And I'm lost. Some days I just start a video, like when I start it I will know what to say, so I just put a random topic, and in the course of speaking I get a surge of ideas and I push. Some days we have lost interruptions because the network went off and we couldn't connect. Sometimes the episodes have been high traffic, sometimes the episodes have been low traffic. It's been a complete gamut of experiences, but hey, here we are. 365 episodes gone. I thank God. I thank God for His strength, for His empowerment, for His wisdom, for His influence. I thank the Holy Spirit for His inspiration, for His guidance, for His leadership. I thank you for your presence. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your belief. I thank you for your acceptance. I thank you for your everything. Thank you. It's been a beautiful journey. Now, the thing is, if you have been on Diary of a Coach, you realize that this platform talks about life, talks about politics, talks about health, talks about family life, talks about career, talks about business, talks about coaching, talks about everything that's worth it. So it's been a lovely experience, and I want to say thank you. We're going into the app mode now. It's going to be a totally different experience. The environment is different. It's going to be a learning experience for all of us all over again. And I'm looking forward to it. I have never done the app approach before, so we're all going to be learning the new place all together. We have been recording, episodes with our different speakers that are going to be in the app mode. It's been a complete flush of emotions for me. Yesterday we recorded 2 sessions, and they were just very, very educative. Like, the sessions were so instructive and deep. I was like, wow, I'm so happy about what we're bringing your way. I'm so happy about what is coming to you. In the app, you're going to learn crazy stuff. These 365 episodes has been only me talking, only me sharing, only me, guiding, only me, just speaking. But in the app, it's going to be people joining me. Sometimes, of course, only me, but people will join me. People are already recording their sessions. You're going to have the chance to listen. You're going to have a chance to connect with new audiences. You're going to have a chance to share your comments and feedback and wondering and asking your questions. Everything is so beautiful. So we've created a strong family here, a very strong family. And I would like us to please don't drop the ball. Please, if you have not subscribed to the app, I make an appeal to you. Please join us in the app. Let us take our community to the app and let us meet again at a different level and frequency, where we're able to continue throwing our banters and sharing our comments and let's take that community off onto the online community. I'm looking forward to that. So I cannot not thank you. Everybody has been immensely a blessing. I'm reading your comments. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much to everyone writing your comments. Thank you so much. So let me go on to today's topic. So last night, someone called me very late, and said, I'm worried, very worried. And I said, what are you worried about? I'm worried about the end of time. I'm worried about I'm trying to understand this COVID and this 5G and the end time. It seems like there's something about this 5G that is the end time. I'm so anxious, I'm so worried, and my children are asking questions. I need to know what to tell them. So I want to use this opportunity to share some of my thoughts. By the grace of God, I have a degree in computer science. I understand I may not be so deep into technology and computing because it's not my primary niche. But having this background, I know the commonalities of the stuff, in technology. And yesterday I was telling this fellow, I said there is a parallel between biological evolution and technological evolution. There are parallels. Technology, for instance, cannot create bacteria. Technology, for instance, cannot create, spirogyra. Technology, for instance, cannot create vegetables and fish and meat. Those are biological things. Those are natural stuff. So whoever told you that a flu, a cold, a respiratory virus was created by technology and transmitted by technology definitely was speaking from ignorance. It is not true. While man, the inventions of man can take some dimensions that are unbelievable, there are some things that are parallel. No matter how much man has tried to clone the human, it has never worked. Man has never created brain as brain is. Man has never created heart that can pump blood as heart is. Man can only simulate but cannot recreate. And so there is a parallel between biological experiences and technological experiences. which are fundamentals we must understand. When you look at this 5G spectrum, and a lot of the guys in that space would also explain better much later. Someone like Eitayo will also probably have a good idea, being that she works in NERA. You see, when we talk about 5G simply talks about the increased speed in a spectrum. When mobile technology came to Nigeria in 1999, thereabout, during the Obasanjo regime, the Obasanjo's democratic regime, I think the minimum that came into Nigeria was 2G, in the days of Econet and MTN. And so when over time we started to improve, we went to 3G, we went to 4G, we went to now we're going into 5G. There's LTE and all that spectrum. I took the person who called me back, I said, you remember that way back when, for instance, when I was on IT, and way back even when internet just came into the country in 1990, between 97 and the year 2000, when the internet started coming into Nigeria. I said, you remember then, sorry for those who are not technical, there's what we used to call 10 by 100 MB Ethernet, 10 by 100 megabit internet. That was the original speed that brought the internet in, that we're operating with at that level. Wow, my big Egbon is online. Wow, all the way from the US. Egbon Yinka, good to see you, sir. Ekaro. So then we were using 10 by 100 Ethernet, and we're using cables, the Ethernet cables. And I was telling her, I said, what that meant, the data being transmitted was between 10 megabits to 100 megabits. And that was a function of the kind of router you had and the kind of service provider you were buying internet from. And then over time, we found that, no, those were very slow. We had to now migrate to Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi also came with its own speed. That was a little above, with the Ethernet speed. And then we started having things like, just 10 gig of speed, and before you knew, evolution started. And then telecoms came into the picture, and then we had the 2G and the 3G, and that made internet faster, and then that made data faster. 5G is simply a bigger speed, a bigger spectrum than 4G. It's a bigger spectrum. When we mean spectrum, it means the allowance of speed of data, the allowance of movement of data and communication. That's basically, like, for the layman, that's the basic way I can define it. And I was telling the fellow yesterday, I said, we're even going to 6G. In other countries, they're already probably even testing and using 6G. We're still getting there. So the bigger the evolution, the bigger the use of data, because we're in the era of big data, where people are collecting customer data like crazy. We're now in the era of images and videos and a lot of bitmap data, which will require bigger speed of internet to transmit. So the more we evolve in our development and evolution and creativity, the higher the speed that is required to transmit data. Which also is why we say the world is shrinking into a smaller space, because what it takes to communicate with the outer world is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller in requirements. So I need you to understand that technology has its role, biology has its role. A flu, a cold, a bacteria, a skin disease, all these things do not come about through technology. They are biological experiences. Please, let us respect ourselves. Then she was talking about, but what is the impact of 5G? I said, see, the thing we know is that any spectrum has radioactive elements. There is radioactivity, and let me explain. Radioactivity simply means that there is because it is electronic and it has signals of transmission, it has impacts on the body. It has impacts on the body. And because there is radioactivity the radioactive transmission, depending on the strength of your body, there's going to be impact on your cells. There's going to be impact on your body, on your brain, on a lot of things. That's why people are having insomnia, because you could have so much intensity of radioactive data in your body that it begins to affect your sleeping patterns. That's why some of us are using glasses. Some people actually think that these my glasses are for fashion. They are not. They're actually medicated glasses, because over time I've spent so much screen time that the rays and the light from screen was affecting my eyes, and I was having consistent headaches, and then I needed to use these glasses to tone down the intensity of the rays. Those are impacts of rays and radioactive elements. You hear people say, for instance, radioactive elements makes you gray out. So your hair begins to gray out. You probably, some I don't know if it is proven, say that there is exposure to cancerous, cells. So cancerous cells tend to grow faster because of spectrum of rays and radioactive behavior. So yes, technology has its impact in terms of, because of radioactive behavior. That's just the same way they tell you when you're looking at the sun, protect yourself with UV cream or something, protective skin creams. When you're doing an X-ray, when you walk around X-ray machines or mammograms and all those stuff, protect yourself by wearing a protective shield. It's the same thing. Any technological equipment transmits radioactive rays, and you must protect yourself to a large extent. But the mobile phone and the 5G transmits a very minimal. In fact, I hear that radio spectrum is even stronger than the 5G in some sense. So all I'm trying to say is, please, let us understand the parallel entities that play in these spaces. And please, we need to watch it. So many comments here, honestly, so many comments. Falake says, I tire of 5G creating virus is ridiculous, high level ignorance. Ebuka, my bros, says, Coach, tell them I beg. Eitayo says, you have done well, sir. Good explanation. We want to start to transmit in 3 dimensions, correct? Moshokbe, I tire of 5G myth everywhere. Henry Spies, Miss Falake, people have been ill-informed, especially by their pastors. They reverse so much, so you can't blame them much. Ebuka says, humans are always scared of technology, and new technology always gets a pushback. In 1991, the world was supposed to end. They shifted the date. Now they shifted the date. Then in 2000, millennium, they said the world will end with millennium bug. Now in 2020, they say it's ending again. I'll see you guys again in 2040, God willing. For like I said, I totally agree that thank God I don't have such in my space. Folake says microwave elicits more radiation than 5G. You see? So these are things we should pay attention to. We need to understand that these things have their parallels, and we shouldn't start getting ourselves, into some frenzy. No, don't do that to yourself. So somebody's asking me, but is 5G not going to contribute to the Antichrist and all that? I say, see, time after time, there's been a surge of evolution. And every time there's a surge of evolution, there's a suspicion. That has always been the case. The moment there's a surge of evolution, there is a suspicion. And it's normal. One thing I can guarantee is that every time there is a pandemic or a global virus or a global impact, negative impact, there's going to be advancement in technology. That one is guaranteed. For instance, our lives will never remain the same again after COVID. There will be a definite shift in health systems, definite shift in learning systems, definite shift in interpersonal relationships. There's been a shift so far. And these things will. So anytime there's a global crisis, the outcome of it is a shift, because the impact of that crisis will teach people how to do things differently. So that's how we should be thinking. The shift that is going to happen. Am I involved in riding on the wave of that shift? That should be your concern. Am I involved in riding on the wave of that shift? That should be your priority. How do I contribute my quota to that shift? That is what should be your priority. Those are some of the things we should think about, because it's very important for you to understand that for every time there's going to be a shift, and for every shift there's going to be a change, and for every change I should be on the advantage side of it. That is how to think. For the Christians watching Diary of a Coach today, the fact that COVID is going to, because they're saying, Bill Gates is introducing a chip that can help people know whether they are sick or not. That is the Antichrist. That's what Jesus said. That's what the Bible says. That chip, that is the sign of the beast. And I like how my brother Ola Omoshebi put it. He said, whether you accept the chip or you don't accept the chip, it's not the chip that determines whether you go to heaven. It is your relationship with God, your relationship with Christ, that will determine whether you go to heaven. So whether you implant the chip or not. And I was thinking, if it actually is going to turn out that the chip is going to become a part of our lives, the way the evolution will happen is such that you cannot resist it. Look at, for instance, we were asked to stay at home because of this virus. It means that there is a wave of experience that will happen such that the chip is going to become normal. When telecoms came, people said, no, this phone, how can somebody hold phone that does not have cable and be talking with somebody somewhere? Is that not witchcraft? I had that argument with a senior bro in Lagos. He kept telling me, I beg, don't tell me anything. How can somebody hold a phone and be talking to another person in another land? No wire. How? What kind of witchcraft is that? He said, no, this thing is Antichrist. The guy has a phone now. When internet started coming in, people were saying, this internet, how can I just be typing in the internet and then I can be seeing somebody from somewhere else? No, this thing is witchcraft. I'm not going to use it. People are using internet today. When Facebook came, in fact, Facebook was one that was really vilified. Facebook, imagine everybody likes Facebook. That's why it's an Antichrist thing, because for everybody to like something, it must be an evil thing. I will not join Facebook. I remember vividly my pastor then used to say, I will never join Facebook. If you join Facebook, you are adopting the spirit of the Antichrist. We must resist it. My pastor today is on Facebook. I see him. So I have observed, if the system of God, because God himself has said that there will be a time that the world will shift and you will not be able to buy or sell until you have it. So if it is in the plan of God that things go that way, no amount of your resistance can stop it. But my own is that just stop sharing gibberish. Stop saying things you don't know. For areas that you are not conversant, please just keep quiet and be looking. If you're concerned about going to heaven, go back to your holy book and read and practice what the holy book says. Stop vilifying evolution and technology. If you knew that you hated technology, why do you have flat screens in your house? Why do you have a mobile phone that you can watch Diary of a Coach from? Why do you have wristwatches that calculate? Why do you have wristwatch that calculates your steps and your heartbeat rate and all that? Why are you adopting technology if you know that technology will take you to hell? Because you can't operate in this season and times without it. So we need to understand what we are saying. He then says, I'm waiting for us to have access to internet in homes, just the way we have it in advanced countries. If 25G will give us, so be it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the technology and the evolution is not your problem. Realize what your problem is and face it. Biology is biology. The virus, the bacteria, the flu, the cold, these are biological experiences. And one thing I was sharing yesterday is that the coronavirus was not spread by technology. It was spread by people. It is people moving around that makes the virus spread. It's not the technology. Because if technology was responsible for COVID, the whole world would be infected by now. Because I can tell you, at least, I don't know, I may not have the statistics, but we can assume that more than 60% of the world have access to technology. So if more than 60% of the world have access to technology, and if 5G was responsible for distribution of the virus, of the coronavirus, more than 60% should have contracted the virus. But you and I know that's not the case. So it is people moving around that distributes the virus, not technology. So that tells you technology is not the cause of the virus. People encountered the virus by some means. They say they ate bat, they ate something. We still don't even know the specific truth. What we know is that someone had the virus. It was even said that it was not possible to pass it from person to person. Then they found that there was a mutated version, a strand of that virus that could transmit from person to person. And boom, it took off. Meeting people, pum. It has affected as many countries as possible. That's why there has been a preaching of social distancing, stay away from people. So it is people that are distributing or spreading the virus, not technology. If technology is not spreading the virus, then technology did not create the virus. Let's stop this thing and stop being ignorant. So, please, on this final day of Diary of a Coach, I've had some special people join. My big boss, Dr. Moni Ibieton, is online with us today. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor to have you online. I see my pastor, Benga Oyeni, is online too. Thank you, boss. Good to see you online. Eniola Adeduro, I see you. My chief counselor, Agnes Afi, I see you. Ede Ebuka Obika, I see you. Dr. Faith Obafemi, well done. Henry Spice, yes, continue. So, thank you so much for. It's so difficult to stop this diary right now because this is the finale, the grand finale. I want to say again, thank you immensely for being part of my experience. If you are unable to join on the app, I would understand. But what would gladden my heart is that you join us on the online community of Diary of a Coach. Effective today, we're taking a 10 days break. We're resting. I would be compiling and recording and building content. And on the 18th of April, which happens to be my younger brother's birthday, we are going live on Diary of a Coach online community. You're going to have access to all the recordings we've done. You're going to watch it. You're going to share your thoughts, feedback, and all that you want to share. So please, I'd like you to kindly subscribe to my online community. It's so affordable, basically. For 1 week, it is only 300 naira. For 1 month, it is only 1,000 naira. For 1 quarter, it's only 2,000. For half year, it's only 4,850 naira. And for a whole year, it is only a very small 9,500 naira. So I would like to encourage you to please join up. For those who subscribe to 1 year, you're going to have access to all my books. There's an e-library. You will receive 2 emails. One email welcoming you to the online community. The second email welcoming you with an exclusive pass to the e-library where all the books I have written in my life are in e-copy. And you can read it and you would experience a whole great stuff. And then, for those who are not annual subscribers, there's a shop. You can buy any of the books that that catch your appeal, catch your fancy. So please consider this and join us. It's going to be a very beautiful experience, honestly. The moment you sign up, you're going to receive an email. When you receive the email, you're going to click on the link and go to the environment. And you're going to be prompted to change your password, to create your password actually. And once you create your password, you can start enjoying the experience. There are already about 12 free videos in that community. Even this episode is going live in that community as a free video. So you're not going to miss anything. You're going to have access to free videos, and then you're going to have access to your paid videos. So guys, please join us on the online community. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section so that you can just click on it, go, make your payment, and automatically subscribe. I also want to encourage you, if you try to make payment online and it gives you any form of challenge, don't be discouraged. There is a live chat on the site. Send a chat and someone will attend to you pronto, immediately, and then they can guide you into resolving it. So, on this final note, thank you for being my community member. Thank you for loving me with my work. Thank you for being kind to me. Thank you for being good to me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for everything you have taught me in the last 365 episodes. I love you with all my heart. My God will keep you safe. My God will make you happy. My God will make all things available to you. Everything you need, you have. Everything you want, you would get. And I pray that in all ways, God will keep you. I know I may not see some of you again because not everybody may join the app. But just in case you make up your mind to join the app, I'll be thoroughly grateful. So thank you for everything, and for the last time, goodbye.